Okay, what I did here is I came in like 3 feet from the edge of the building here, and I put a tap con in there. I measured down from the siding where I wanted this board to set, so I'm coming down 1.5 inches from the siding there. And the reason that that's in there is because I'll put that in there, and then I came up and I have this big heavy piece of aluminum, and it's like a straight edge. It's really straight. So, and then I came down here and I put this. I had the level on top of it, and then once I got it where I wanted it, then I marked where I want to put this other tap on. And these are sticking out so I can put the wood up here, so I'll have something to set on, because I'm doing this by myself, and then it'll be level. So I got the level sitting there. Just now, granted, I had it up against the wall closer where this, because there's threads on here, but it's level. So now I can more manageably get this beam up here, or this 2x6, and maybe I'll run a tap con right through it. That way it'll give me, so I can put the sleeves in, because I'm not using tap cons up here. These are just, this is just this, so I can hold this piece of wood up here by myself. Okay, I got it up there. I had this 4x4 setting just below it, or no, above it. I had it above it, and then I just I found the center of the board, which was 6 foot in, and I just sort of put my hands on either side of this ladder, and as I walked up, I just carried it, I just balanced it up the ladder, and then I set it on those tap cons, and it basically stayed there. And then I sort of snuck this down, and this 4x4 is just setting on it to so it won't flip. I drilled my hole in the wood with a regular, regular wood bit. Then I used it as a guide to put the masonry drill bit in there. Now you gotta blow these out, or use a vacuum, whatever you got, to get that dust out of there. And I'm using these sleeve types. Now, they have a wedge type where you'd actually pound this in, and then that wedge goes up in there, which that's what happens, but this happens differently. It happens when you tighten this nut up. The side friction keeps it from spinning, so it's a little tight when you put these in, but this isn't. So then I just tap this in. It's going into the concrete. Now that isn't doing anything right there. That's just, it's hard to get in because it needs that side friction. So when you tighten this up, then it'll expand it. And these, it says only 14 foot-pounds of torque, so be careful or you'll break these off. And then, then you'd have to drill a whole nother one somewhere else. So, just be aware of that. That should be good there. And that's it. Then I got to putting these in every so often. I'm staggering. I'm one down there, then I go up here, then one down here, then one up there, and so on, all the way down the way. So let me finish that. Okay, I got my bolts all staggered. For the second piece, I made this little, I have this aluminum channel here. I just drilled some holes in it so I can put some like deck screws in it. I'll show you what I'm going to do with it. Yeah, I just put it up here so, since I'm doing this, one person here, I just put that up there, and then I'll just, this end will, at least I only have to contend with one end, so this will keep it level with this one. or hold it up while I'm trying to get it secured. If I did this again, what I would have done is I'd have snapped the chalk line all along there, but I would have actually put it at the bottom of the piece of wood, you know, since I'm here by myself. That way I could have just, you know, ran a tap con in that right on the chalk line, and then when I walked this wood up here, you know, it would have just, you know, I could have just set it right on there. I wouldn't have to go through all, you know, this. But, you know, I'm only putting 2 pieces up, so it, and I didn't know exactly where it was going to end up. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I took the long way around, but yeah, the next time I would just snap the chalk line, put the tap cons in, and then carry them up and set them on there like I did this first one. But at least I'd know where to put the tap cons in. I just picked the center of the, I actually marked the center of that piece of wood and put the ladder in the center, and then just sort of straddled the ladder, my hand sticking out, and slid it up underneath the ladder there, and it's setting up there now. Should be all flush on the end. It is. So, I put the holes in it already, so I just gotta go and drill the block. I'm gonna check it for level one last time before I start though. Now I'm gonna make these bird's mouths here, and what I decided to do, rather than, because this is like an unconventional pitch here, rather than doing a bunch of measurements, just put this board up here, so it just barely crowns right here, and just use this thin ruler for the front edge. And when I got it to touch, I put a nail in it. Now, I might have to change it a bit, but I'm going to, and I got it sitting on there, of course, but that's not going to be where it's going to be. I'm just going to bring this down. I'm going to bring this down to where I don't see any daylight on the back side. And then that's, on the other side, I'll just mark it. But I'm going to have to temporarily nail this inside and go back up there and check this one. It's going to be a bit fiddly until I get this one made. This sitting here to do this bird's mouth. I'm going to bring it down until I can't see any daylight here. So it'd be like right about there. And I'm just going to put this screw in here. I'm going to have to take this camera off here just because it's in my way. But and then what I'll do is I'll mark it with a pencil on the other side. Then I'll have my bird's mouth. Then I'm going to have to go up there and make sure that that degree, that it's still hitting the top of the crown. Okay, I got it where I want it now. See, what I'm doing is I'm putting this, move this out of the way here. This is too thick. I don't want to use that, it's too thick. I want to get the front side of this. So I want the front side, not back here, because it kicks up. Because when you cut it, it'll meet flush with that. So now I got that pretty well set there. Might have to lower the hair, but you get the idea. And it's down here where that is. And I have it sitting on top of this nail where I think it should be. And there's no daylight here. So what I just do is mark it on this side. You know, I'll just use a straight edge probably. And just like this. And then like this. And then across the top. And then that'll give me my bird's mouth. I'm going to just go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I got it up here, and it's good here. So it's even with the top of this here. I mean, this is a lean-to. I mean, this is pretty. I think it should be pretty darn close though. So then just go ahead and make the line on there. Inside of this one, so I just make my lines here. I mean, I'm gonna have to straighten these out a little bit after I get this done here, but give me an idea where I'm at here. I want to go ahead and get a straight edge and shoot these lines straight up. Okay, I got my angles done on each end, and I checked it out there. It looks good. My bird's mouth. I actually ended up finding this thing. I've been looking for this. I actually use this for my metal work and stuff, but they make ones for wood. This is not ideal, but it's what I had, so it's what I've been using. And just saw the bird's mouth out. Whatever saw you got. I actually have a like a chop saw for the ends, but this I'm using a band saw. But whatever you got, you make it. Hand saw, scroll saw, skill saw, whatever you got. Yeah, so now that I got these done, I'm gonna use this for the template, because you don't want to keep cut the next one, then use it for a template, then cut the next one, because you'll see it'll start to grow. So I'm gonna use a really sharp pencil and use this for a template and just do all these and then cut them. Okay, so I got them all mitered and the bird's mouth put in them. Mitered this end too. And I just sprayed them. I just sprayed all these cuts. I don't know how much that's going to do, but that's what I have, and I suppose it's probably better than nothing. Here, I was just checking to see, make sure everything's lined up right. So when I go to start assembling everything, because I don't have any screws, anything yet, it's just kind of sitting there. And on this side, I'm actually gonna, I made the header board, that's 24 feet up there, but it's got an overhang, it's protecting the edges of it, so I didn't care, and it was easier to put it up perfectly at 24. Down here, I want to cut this back of 2 inches, because I'm gonna leave a 2-inch overhang that coming down. It's just my idea on doing it. Maybe should I don't know, but that's what I'm doing. And I'm gonna cut this actually 2 inches short, and then the 2x4 will be sitting, I don't know, well, somewhere in here, and then and this I'm gonna cut this off too, so then the roofing will hang over the edge a couple inches, just to keep the weather off of the wood as much. At the top part it'll go away at the edge, because that's 24 feet exactly up there, so it should be good. Okay, I got everything's got it pretty straight now. I think if you want to see what these are, AC4Z Simpsons. They're Z-Max, so they're rated for weather, basically. They're like the best that they got. And I gotta put this last piece up. We only got these. I got them straight. I got this one just kind of, it's like halfway in, so it keeps its place. Those two are all the way in now. Okay, I got them up there. I got all the screws in up there, and then this one actually gets this thick strong tie here. I'm gonna put this in here too, just in case, because I got that seam there and it's not a lot holding it. So I'm gonna put that in there. Then I'm gonna put a 1/2-inch bolt through here into the back piece on all these tops to hold it, and it's going to have a strap going down farther down on the column, so it's just not hooked to that little tang there. There's going to be a metal strip that comes down to like here, and I'm going to be able to put these screws in here and then put the bolt up here, so just in case. Okay, I put these straps on here with a big 1/2-inch bolt. see it. Now I'm going to put a nice hole in the center of this on my mill. This thing is thick, so this is going to be the tie plate. It's going to go up there. Got my tie plate on there and my galvanized bolt. You can see the model numbers. This is like HTTP or something. HTP tie plate. I gotta get this sticker off here. Take these stickers off here with adhesive remover. These things seem to cause rust. I got them off everything else. I forgot that one apparently. What the back looks like. Take those stickers off. Then start taking a razor blade to it, because you want to take its coating off of here. You might as well leave the sticker on there if you're going to do that. I use this stuff. I just soak the label and just chip away at it with my fingernail. It takes like a few seconds, and then I put it on this paper towel and it wipes the adhesive off. I mean, it's clean like it never was there. All bolted up now. There's a level. It's level. I'll do the level on the lower piece here. See here. Ugh. It's level. Okay, I got my first rafter up. Now this one has these connectors on the end, but the rest of them are going to have this. This is only because I wanted this. This is actually, see if you look up there at the one that's mounted on the side of the shop, it's in an inch and a half. So I'm going to have the roofing stick over this like an inch and a half, and I wanted this, you know, also to be an inch and a half in. So, you know, the drip is out here somewhere. I don't know, it's just the way I did it. I mean, I'll come up here too, so you can see this. These are actually for 2x6s, but I mean, works good on 2x4s, so that's what I use. Way better than. And then I just have this real piece of flat aluminum, and I just hold it up there, and whenever I get it flush, and I screw this in. So I'm not going to bore you with the rest of this. I'll show you the other kind of plates. So I'll show you one more rafter. This one I actually, since I set it in an inch and a half, I had to grind out a little bit of this. But, you know, that's not going to hurt. It's just I didn't go all the way through the 2x4, just a little hair there to let that bolt, so it would, you know, once it was hitting the back of the 2x4. But then these have these kind. This middle one's going to be a challenge because I got that bolt in there, so, and that's, I have to put one in the center there. Yeah, I got almost half of it. Well, actually, really did eat half because I got that hanger up there. I just don't have this one down here, so sort of half, I guess. Okay, I'm getting some of the more of these rafters up. Now this one, I'm probably going to figure out some kind of a strap or something to put on both sides here, or I don't know. This is going to be tough here because of all this. So we're going to have to figure out something else to make it easier. Anyway, so what I did here is, since this seam just happens to be, well, this is exactly 24 feet up there, that main the mounting board up there is, so you can see there's a seam. I put it right across the seam. So these are all 24 inches on center, the center of the 2x4s. And I just went along and marked, started at the seam, measured over 24, and then I just take a square and just draw a line. There's little holes in there so you could see the line that you made. And on this side, I did the same thing. You can see these lines. I just went ahead and marked everything on 24-inch centers here, so everything's centered. Now, this one I started from the middle and went out only because up there is two 12-footers, so it's 24 foot exactly. But this one out here, I wanted to set it back 1.5 inches to leave a drip edge. I don't know, that's just something I did. You don't have, you know, whatever you decide to do. And so it threw off my you know, my calculations. So I mean, I knew I had to set that back from the outside edge. It's 1.5. Now granted, it's more because these are, you know, what are those, 1.5 inches thick or something. So it's actually 2.25 inches to the center. So that's why I started down there. It was just easier for my head to just start from the center and go out, because I knew everything was square. You know, that matters. Like if you have everything perfectly right, then you won't have any problems doing what I did. But you know, really, you know, most normal people, not me, wouldn't you know, have to make it a little bit more difficult. But anyway, so it's coming along good here. I'm gonna go ahead and finish out the rest of these. And also, when you go to put those, you know, your header board up there, you notice like my mounting poles for the ledger or header, whatever the hell you call that. You notice I purposely, you have to think about that when you're putting them in, or you're gonna hit the wood, you know, the one that's mounted going into the concrete. So when you're putting that up, make sure you allow for that. So I spaced those off, offset them off so they wouldn't hit, even in the center. So you can see, I knew that I was going to have to allow for that. Okay, got them all up, looking pretty good, nice and solid now. I still got to put the ones in the crosswise in between these, so that's the next thing. Got to figure out exactly where I'm going to put those, just don't know just yet. So there it is. So 8 foot by 24 foot. Okay, I'm putting these crosses in here. This one is 2.5, then it's 2, and the only reason I sort of did it like that up here is because I got a foot overhang, so you know, a lot of this won't even see any snow, because that'll be protected quite a bit. It'll be more down on that end, so that's why I staggered them like this. I could have staggered them different, but this is 2.5, that's 2, and then it goes every 2 feet, so 2.5, 4.5, 6.5, and then the other side is 2, 4, and 6, and then they're just going to alternate all the way down. This is the only thing I sort of regret doing, but I mean, I was sort of dictated by the height of this, because you know, obviously you'd put just like purlins across there, you know what I mean? It'd be a lot easier than cutting all these 2x4s. I bought several extra 2x4s. So I already had them, and I was like, all right, you know what, I'm just gonna do it this way because I got these. So anyway, so that's that. And I'm actually nailing these in with the, you know, the proper. These are hot galvanized. They're rated for treated wood. And then, you know, these, of course, this is the screws I used. These are for exterior. This is, you know, structural, so they're also coated for use in treated wood. So I'm going to go ahead and keep cutting and going along, and I'll show you what it looks like on down the line here. And these connectors, I went ahead, see I got one here, and then I went ahead and I got another one to do this side so it won't get any twisting, which it's probably not going to get much twisting now since I'm putting these 2x4s in there. But I did it on both ends, and then on that center section I ended up putting a, I'm not gonna go all the way down there, but that center one that was a bit odd, let me get out. Best thing I could find was this heavy bracket. It's galvanized, so it's fine. It's just that that's what I ended up using for that center. Forgot to when I was doing the calculations for this roof, because I'm getting 8-foot long panels. Well, you got to remember that header panel. You know, it's just like whatever, there's an 1.5 inches thick or whatever. That's gonna add on to the length of the. So if you would have used an 8-foot and just mitered it, and then put it on the header panel, well, now your roof's too short if you were going to get 8-foot panels. So I actually had cut mine, like, I don't know, I think it was 3 inches short, because I was going to leave a 3-inch overhang. Well, and those rafter brackets take, like, I don't know, maybe 1/4 inch off too, because they, it's just the way they work. They just stick out a little bit on the board there. So now I got an 1-inch overhang. It'll be about I measured it's about 1 inch. So it's not what I wanted, but I gotta live with it. I don't know, I just didn't calculate that in there. So rookie mistake, you know what I'm saying? I've never done this before, so just kind of got lucky on that. I mean, I can always cut them off, you know what I mean? But I don't want to cut them off. It's a pain. It's fine the way it is. If I decide to cut them off later, I can cut them off. They're sticking out that way, so it's no big deal. It's just be a pain in the butt. Okay, I'm gonna quit for the day here. Got it. Oh, I got 3 more to do. So, come along. Okay, it's done. Well, just tentatively, unless I want to add any more stuff to it. Word to the wise. Use purlins. Putting in all those was a pain in the butt. A real pain in the butt. Oh. Anyway, I mean, I had extra 2x4s, so, that's kind of what led me down the path. But man, if I'd have known, that was a lot of work doing that. I don't know how many nails are up there, but it seems like a couple hundred anyway. Here's the metal. It's 3x8. Now this was a scratch and dent, which you can see there's these just tiniest little fine scratches, and some of them don't even have that. They just will have like a shadow, which. And then this stuff is this is the textured coating. It's 29 gauge. But this is it's like a charcoal gray, which my roofs here are charcoal. I had a bunch of different ones I could choose from. Like, oh man, they must have had 8 or 9 colors. But this is 3x8 foot. And these were marked down to $12 each. Putting these on. I'm just trying to get this set over here for this offset, because I got this one, it's in, as you can see, that main one up there, I put the rafters in, I set them in, so, because I wanted this drip edge, so I'm just going to center that lip over the center of the edge of the board there, and I'm not going to put up another panel to see if these bottom edges are squared up. You'd probably do that on a wooden building, you'd put up another one to make sure and see if they're not stepping out, like if it was crooked like this. But I just want them up against that masonry, so I don't care what that outside looks like on this. I just want them as close up to that as I can get it up there. Okay, I got the one on there. all you gotta remember is this long leg. This actually goes underneath of the. This is the short one. So I'll put the short one over top. The long leg goes underneath, from what I read, and I'm probably gonna end up putting some kind of fascia board on there. That'll probably help it, but you know, it's pretty good. We'll see. 3 more panels. Again, can't stress this enough. Use purlins. Oh, one other thing. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you how to do a roof because God knows I don't know what I'm doing. But on these seams, I'm just gonna say, you know, you definitely want one on each side of there. That locks that down. But yeah, so my screws are, I'm putting them in the same spots as the pieces of wood, but you see they're staggered. Now they're staggered exactly the same all the way across. I staggered them because, you know, it was easier for me to pound a nail in there. But, you know, it makes it fun when you're on top of this roof going, well, so was that 32, 56, 80? Okay, that's that. What was the next one? Okay, -6 on all, -6 inches on all those. So, yeah, it's just a pain. But, you know, it's fine, works. I mean, I crawl up there and put the screws in. So, when you tighten these screws on, you just want to tighten them down so the washer stops moving, basically. And you don't want to you don't want to you don't want to blast them down through there so all the stuff pushes out. It's just basically, of course, some of these are a little bit too far themselves, but you're basically only putting them in until the washer itself is a little shorter than the rubber part is a little shorter back in than the top part. You just want to push them down until you see that rubber basically meet the outside of that. That way you know it's starting to compress. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's that. Okay, I'm building this this end cap here. I'm just, you know, I was gonna extend it out. I was like, oh, what am I doing all this? I'm just gonna use this. I mean, I'm gonna lose a little, like I don't know, 10 inches. Big deal. It's easier to build off of this. And then I mounted this in. Just ended up like 10.5 inches to the edge, so it's a good overhang because I'm not gonna have enough metal to go all the way up. Actually, I don't want to because, you know, I want to van up there anyway, but so it's gonna go to the top of that post, and then of course I'm gonna set one on top of there. So I got 3 more pieces of metal left, and which means, I mean, I just got 8 footers, but I get this wall up. See, there's gonna be a gap at the top. So gotta put the metal on. And I got 1 panel up. That's one other thing I was gonna say. Put the fat lip up. You know, the long lip, because the short lip will, if you're gonna mount it this way. I was gonna do it the other way, but I decided to go this way. You know, I'm gonna get the full 9 this way instead of just 8. These are 8 foot long, so I got 3 panels 3 feet wide. So and I'm gonna finish. I got 2 more panels. I had to cut that out, but it works. It's closed in. Got it all buttoned up now. Looks pretty good. That's the weather comes this way. It comes like around here. So I wanted to seal off this end, at least this end. The other end's pretty well protected. So yeah, that's it. I'm not doing any more. I'm not putting fascia on there or anything else. Okay, I'm just gonna do this quick video here on the. I'm just feeding this tape measure over top. I'm going straight back, not at the angle of the roof, but straight towards the wall, just to show you how much you lose here. See, I got about a 92 1/4 inch roof. versus a 96-inch roof. After you put this, the pitch on there, this is almost a 412 pitch. So just be aware that, you're going to lose. It's not going to be 8 foot anymore straight. You're not going to get 8 foot of cover going this way. I mean, the panels are still 8 foot, but they're tilted, so they don't come out quite as far. So you need to be aware of that when you're setting your posts. You're going to have to set them back. I have mine set back quite a bit. But mine are actually set back like, well, let's see. Now I'm going to go straight from the wall here. I'm sure I had this on an earlier part of this video, but I'll do it again. The outside of the post is, oh boy. Outside the post is about, it's about 86 and a half. Oh no, it's about 86 and an eighth to get this much overhang. So yeah, take this off here. And here's the wall here. Fix this. Here's the wall here. I just had to put this piece of plywood. I had an extra piece of plywood because, stacking this wood here. The last thing I want to do is blowing through there, but, this isn't the best. But, ideally you'd want the whole length. But that's what I just had, so better than that than nothing. So, yeah. So, pretty much set. I threw some cement down there underneath. I left a gap, an air gap. I made a little trough there. I put another piece of post, I don't know if you can see it, down in there, and I buried that. I didn't go down very far. It's more, just peace of mind for that. And I went down a couple feet just for that. It's just so the wind doesn't blow it in and out. And I put like 120 pounds of cement in there because I had 2 bags left over from before. I bought too many. I figured I'd just fill this up with concrete. Threw some water on it. I didn't mix this concrete. I just threw it there, threw some water on it. I figured that'll just keep it from, the weeds growing up there, so I don't have to trim around there. So yeah, looks good. So yeah, we're gonna be done here. So I'm gonna get my wood stacked, rearranged, so I can start doing that. Yeah. Well, anyway, again, I'm no professional. This is the first time I actually built one of these, but it's like anything else. I got ideas from people not doing it perfect, and did a bunch of different videos of what people did, and sort of bunched them all together in my mind and picked out what I wanted to do. And I've done different things here too, so I assume people watch several of these, and get different ideas from each one. So yeah, this isn't perfect by any means, but it's what I made, so I'm happy with it. It seems pretty good. So take the video with a grain of salt. I'm not a builder, but yeah, anyway, well, thanks for watching.